Breaking: Afenifere knocks Tinubu over economic hardship, questions his model of excessive borrowing. To my dear listeners, this is one of the interesting news you've been longing to listen to. Before I go into details, kindly please ensure you like, subscribe and share. Now the details. Yoruba socio-political group Afenifere in the United and Europe has said that the no pain, no gain philosophy of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government has reached its limit across the nation. In a statement issued on Friday by its secretary, Engineer Anthony Ajayi, in London, United Kingdom, the group acknowledged that while the current economic struggles were inherited from the previous administration of Muhammadu Buhari, some policies introduced by the Tinubu's government have exacerbated the situation and require urgent review to alleviate the hardship. Afenifere warned that if the situation worsens, many Nigerians could face even greater difficulties in their daily lives. The group called on President Tinubu to use the remaining days of 2024 to prioritize the review of his policies and governance style in order to provide relief to the people by 2025. It also urged both federal and state governments to introduce palliative measures to ease the suffering of Nigerians, especially during the holiday season. The time to get serious about good governance is now. Nigerians have suffered enough, and the situation cannot become any worse than it already is. This hardship is not just limited to those within Nigeria. Nigerians abroad are also feeling the impact. We urge President Tinubu to demonstrate leadership, put aside political agendas, and position himself positively in history. While he inherited many of these challenges from Buhari, he must show the capacity and resolve to lead, the statement read. On the President's proposal to borrow an additional 1.77 trillion naira to cover the 9.7 trillion naira budget deficit for 2024, Afenifere expressed strong opposition, warning that continued borrowing would further devalue the Naira and damage the national economy. The group stressed that borrowing is not a viable solution, giving Nigerians heavy reliance on import. We are not against borrowing in principle, but the question remains, what has the borrowing achieved? If the money borrowed only leads to more suffering for the masses, then the purpose of borrowing is defeated. Borrowing would be more justifiable if it were used prudently to improve infrastructure, foster industrial growth, and strengthen the economy. President Tinubu should consider bringing in creative and innovative economic technocrats into his cabinet, similar to the approach taken by the UK, curb further borrowing. The UK government no longer needs to borrow. It can create money at will through the Bank of England. This model of economic management should be studied and adapted by Nigeria to break the cycle of borrowing. Afenifere also highlighted Nigerians' potential, urging the government to create an enabling environment for the industrious and hardworking population to contribute more effectively to the national economy. The group expressed optimism about the progress made with the Port Harcourt refinery, noting that it was nearing 17% completion and could soon begin operations. They, however, commended President Tinubu for achieving this milestone, which was previously unattainable by past administrations. If all 9 of Nigeria's refineries were fully operational, there would be a significant improvement in the naira's value and the overall economy. The federal government must continue to foster the right conditions for such progress, the statement added. Afenifere called on Nigerians both at home and abroad to hold their state governors accountable for how they are utilizing the funds allocated to them. State governments are closer to the people, and it is important that we not only pressure the federal government but also hold our state governors to the same standard. We must ensure that the resources sent to the state are used effectively for the welfare of the citizens, the group concluded. To my dear listeners, now I've come to the end of our today's news, and now before I go, let's move down to the comment section. The first comment I have here says, the tribe that prides itself as the most educated in Nigeria has turned out to be the worst in managing affairs. With all these strategic agencies in their pocket, Nigerians should aggressively push these raging clueless Yorubas off stage. Another comment here says, first was Ariwa Consultative, who warned of impending doom under confused Tinubu, but abusive Europeans and gullible idiots were quick to insult Northerners. Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.